Hi guys, it's KP. Glad you're all watching another video of mine. Now basically today I'm going to talk about the FIFA World Cup 2026 that has just finished. And firstly, congratulations to Spain, world champions. In fact, I should say double champions. They're also the European champions and now the world champions. Um Amazing feat from them. I thought that they have played amazing football throughout the World Cup. I did feel at the beginning of the World Cup that there were some areas where they looked a bit exposed, but I just felt that as more as the World Cup went on, they just became stronger and stronger. They got their combination right. They've had the whole basically balance, a real balanced squad, and I think they were the deserved winners. And I think after the way they put away France in the semi-finals, it really was a bit of a statement win that. And not only they beat France, they comprehensively outplayed France in that match. So you just felt that look, they're going to be a tough nut to crack, and exactly what it turned out to be. So yeah, fair play to Spain, world champions. Yeah, look, I just felt like a lot of the time in that tournament, the World Cup was widely open, I would say. There could have been a 2, 3, 4 teams who could have easily won that tournament. Argentina, you know, they got themselves into trouble in a few games, and then they just come back and show why they are a fantastic team, and how there's a team who's been there, done it before, and they've shown those fighting spirits. And they went all the way to the final. And some people will say, well, they don't really, they were lucky to get to the final and so on and all that stuff, but that's all rubbish. Yes, they got themselves into terrible positions in certain games, or just not in a great position in the game, but that's what you call a great team, when they know how to come back from a tough situation. And they don't have to be playing great football, but to win certain moments in a game of football, when it in crunch situation, it shows a lot about the team. And to be fair to Argentina, they did that. You can question the way they conduct themselves as a team on the pitch and so on, but look, hang on, these things do happen, and it's just one of those things. But end of the day, footballing skills wise, amazing. And yeah, I think they were the deserved finalists as well, if I'm being really honest with you. you know um like I said, it was a very open World Cup. I didn't see a side who was head and shoulders above anyone else. It was just a very open World Cup where um, anything could have happened. Spain, like I said, Spain just got better and better. France looked apart for most of that tournament until they faced Spain. But again, I didn't exactly feel France were above everyone. I just felt they were better than than everyone else. But as soon as it came to the semi-final, they just couldn't handle the pressure. And I think Spain, like I said, deserved to win that game and deserved to win the final. I think they were the better team in the final as well, and they deserved the win. And yeah, fair play to Spain. Now, a lot of people have asked me what I felt went wrong for England, especially as I predicted England would go on to win the World Cup. Now, everyone knows me. As soon as like a major tournament comes, I do not give England much chance at all. But I was very positive about this England team before this World Cup started. From the moment um, Tuchel announced the squad, he made some brave calls, and it was a team I was seeing that he was picking that's going to play as a team. And you don't always know what you're going to get, when you pick this kind of a team and squad and so on. But the first game against Croatia, second half, the way they played man, that was amazing. And I just felt that they were going to go on to do something exceptionally special and win the World Cup. And I just felt that, and you know, more as the World Cup actually went on, you look at the other teams and so on, and you feel, look, not all these teams are not any better. And I just felt England gonna get England. I just felt it was destined for them to win this tournament. Harry Kane was really good. Jude Bellingham, what I felt was England's player of the tournament. Declan Rice, even with his injury, gave it 100%. Saka was good. I just felt that, you know, the whole team, I thought, you know, was gelling well together. And I think the win against Mexico at Atlanta Stadium, and I thought that was another statement win from England. Not many teams go there and win it. Yeah, I know people say not great teams have gone there anyway. Mexico have beaten weaker teams, but it doesn't matter. Their record, Mexico at Atlanta, was amazing until England went on there to win the game. So all the obstacles England faced before that game as well. So credit to England, you know, for what they did in that game. And I just felt those kind of games, I just felt England were going to do it. I just felt England were going to win the World Cup. Semi-final against Argentina, you know, they played very well. They didn't let Argentina get to their heads. They got a goal in the second half, and you just felt, right, this is the moment. But then again, I just do not know what happened. Why did they go so defensive so early? It's the question the whole nation was asking after the game. A question people are still asking. But we will never know. I think Tuchel just made that call. And I know Tuchel was getting so much stick from the media and so on. But just give the guy a break. He gave England a very creditable World Cup campaign. You know, okay, he couldn't quite get them to the finishing line and so on. But and I'm sure if he probably won't admit it. But once he looks back at it, he'll just think, oh, why didn't I just be a bit more positive within the game and so on. England were positive right throughout the World Cup. I just don't know against Argentina after they go 1-0 up why they just went defensive. And it just felt trouble was brewing, and that's exactly what happened. But look, I said Jude Bellingham would be England's player of the tournament, exactly what he turned out to be. And I don't think I was too far out when I said England would win the World Cup this time around. I just felt the second half, after going 1-0 up, that's just ruined their chances. But I think in future England, you know, they keep to this squad, players stay fit. You know, they're coming close, but just not quite close enough to get to the finishing line. I think it will happen for them. They just need to remain positive. And when I look at other top nations and so on, I just don't see teams who are just really head and shoulders above everyone else. Spain, European champions, world champions, yes, fantastic. But I just feel that there's explosion there that can also take place. If England were to play Spain in a final again or some point, I think England can beat the Spain team. It's just about the mentality and so on. And England, and I hope England keep with Tuchel and give him a chance to get it right the next time around if a semi-final or final comes around for him. And, you know, England will be better placed. But overall, did I enjoy the World Cup? Yes, I did. I think hydration breaks were rubbish. But, yeah, look, it is what it is. Fair play, you know, to Spain, deserved winners. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yep, catch you guys soon. Take care. KP.